just a bit to kind of reacquaint ourselves with the text and the narrative thus far, just really briefly before we dive into what would be, for us in our study at least, somewhat new material, really looking at the idea of God's judgment of late on fallen mankind. If you remember in our recent studies, we've seen thus far the binding and then the subsequent loosing of Satan, who had been chained and imprisoned for 1,000 years in the bottomless pit during the millennial reign of Christ. And then we'd seen in verse 7 the release of Satan. And then immediately it seems as if he goes back to really his game, his old tricks, if you like, one last rebellion against God. In our last study together, we had seen his own defeat and his punishment in the lake of fire, where he joins the beast and the false prophet. And that's where they will be consigned for all eternity. I think this evening, as we return to our text, we find ourselves in front of probably one of the most heartbreaking passages in all the Bible. And it serves as both a reminder to all of us as believers, and it also serves as a warning to those who have not yet placed their trust in Christ of this event, that there is coming a day that every single person who has ever been born and ever lived and has, in the space of time that God has given them, chosen to reject Christ, they will find themselves standing before the judgment seat of God to be judged. And so if you found your place,